Hello, this is Dr. Angela Wright Lacey. I'm praying that all is well, and I know here in my neck of the woods it has been really raining and there's been flood watches, but God is good. Thank God there has not been a flood in my area, or I should say where I live. So I just stopped by to talk about setting yourself free. And we hear a lot of talk about freedom. You can do it, be yourself. Pretty much giving you the power. So we think. But I have another spin on my reasons for setting yourself free. I would say this topic. As we know, today we live in a world that's pretty microwave, and the powers that be, there's a lot of followers. No one really are their authentic self. We've learned how to put on a face. We've learned how to move with the crowd in order to be accepted. And we've even learned how to downplay our own thoughts or feelings or views by being apologetic for saying what is on our mind. Setting yourself free is really important because for me, I know me being my own authentic self causes me to be at peace with my own decisions. And a lot of times when we're not able to really tap into our authentic self, I'm learning from others that being accepted, not being rejected, is a big part of why individuals choose to follow the crowd. But the downside to all of individuals trying to fit in, not wanting to be ostracized, the downside to that is I've learned from others anger, frustration, confusion, loss of self, feeling like a puppet. I mean, of course, this list can go on and on when we deny our own belief and value systems. The pressure is there. Peer pressure is all around. I know I live in this world too, so I can feel the peer pressure. But at the same time, I am choosing to set myself free to be able to think, feel, walk, talk, and say my beliefs and my values, my morals, my ethics and doing it on a level where it's not coming across offensively. It's very important that we really understand and stay focused on our own belief systems. It's really important that we identify when we're allowing others' influence to become the control factor or a control factor in our lives. Being your authentic self, I'm sure individuals are wondering, well, what is that? You know, how do you unleash or realize the authentic? Well, I'm sure I can tell, like I said, I enjoy talking about me. It helps others to relate to what I'm saying because they can really listen or hear my experience. I can tell when I'm going against the grain of my own way of thinking. And it's uncomfortable. It does not feel good. And I know sometimes we have to play certain things down. Now, I'm not saying we go out and make a spectacle of ourselves. We do have to work. We do have to interact with individuals. So there's ways that we can act, react, respond in order to get our point across without getting indignant. But the pressure that comes along with these control factors, like not believing that there's a God, or taking prayer out of school, or so many other beliefs. They've taken control of our lives. What we can do, what we can't do, what we're permitted to do. And I know for me, a guidepost is the Bible, which is the King James Version. It helps. It acts like a GPS for me. It keeps me on point with how I am to live, what is accepted, what is not accepted, what is right, what is wrong. So a lot of my beliefs and values are wrapped up in the King James Version, the Bible. I don't tell my audience what to choose. I've said this before, because we have a right. The Bible talks about choose you this day whom you will serve. So God even gives us choices. We can choose how we want to live. We can choose how we want to dress. We can choose what we would like to eat. But at the end of the day, is everything that we do right? Is it correct? Or are we doing it just to satisfy control factors? What are control factors? Well, we have the world system, we have systems in place, we have the church, we have the systems within the church. I grew up in a church where, back in the day, a woman could not wear pants, no makeup, can't go to the movies. And as I got older, I started studying the Word of God for myself. And, I don't allow man to convict me over the pulpit or via YouTube. I have taken control of that part of myself, and I allow God to convict me if I'm going to be convicted. Then I feel much better because I've taken the peer pressure off of having to perform when I don't have to perform. I just have a trust in God, my faith, and He helps me to overcome, walk through everything I need. Taking control of self is important because we can do things in life that is really just satisfying others and appeasing them, but we're frustrated and angry. The authentic self, what did you want to do? What did you want to be? What do you really believe? What do you really value? What are your morals? What are your ethics? Are you being spoon-fed? That's what I wanted to say. Are you just going through life like a puppet on a string? Just going to and fro, not sure what to believe. And I meet individuals and they once they believed there was a God, and then now they're not sure if there's a God. And so in talking with the individual, we're in this conversation, conversing I should say, and I just hear a lot of talk regarding others' experience or what this person said or what that person said. But what do you say? And because I really do believe individuals just so want to belong to something, they'll downplay their belief and they'll compromise just for a moment of fame, of fortune, of what seems like acceptance, only to learn they're left alone with feelings of rejection. And then the individuals will turn around and get very angry because they really didn't know deep down inside. And I've heard individuals say, I should not have ever did that, said that, because I know better. What happened? What just happened? They allowed the control factors to influence their belief for a moment. And there's plenty of downsides, I should say, down spirals. You will just spiral down when you don't stay true. It's really just really staying true to yourself. It's not a game. It's not something you can put on today and say, yes, I'm in control, and then take it off and then become that puppet on a string. Because you'll find all your dreams are gone, they're lost. Your hope, your visions, you feel empty and void inside because you're not doing what you really, 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 really want to do. And it doesn't matter, and I can say this because this is true, it doesn't matter what a person or people think about you, because they don't even know you. And a lot of times, people don't really want to get to know you. That authentic you. As a matter of fact, I know from experience, individuals would prefer that I would wear a mask instead of showing them me. I'm an individual that I'll call a spade a spade. But what I've learned is that individuals really do not want to hear truth. They prefer you to tell them a lie. It's just like the girlfriend that'll say, you know, I saw your boyfriend out with Sally last night at the club or at a grocery store. And mind you, you've been best friends for a pretty long time, so you know the track record is good from the source it's coming from. But because you're hurt and you do not want to believe that this person that you love so much, you know, he said he really loved you. You just can't believe he would ever do that to you. You don't want to hear what she has to say. But she's telling you truth. You wanted her to be your friend. And you made a vow to each other as friends, this is what we're going to do. Well, hey, she's standing on what you agreed upon. She's been true. But because you don't want to hear it, you'll convolute whatever she's saying to make you feel good about the situation. Well, that's what it is when you're not being true to yourself. You play down a lot of issues, situations, circumstances. Play them down. And in playing them down, now which are like control factors, they cause you to go spiraling down. You know, because now you deal with the hurt, you deal with the pain, you deal with all of the negatives that come along with the information you've heard or seen regarding the situations and circumstances and such. What if at the moment you took control of self and said, I'm going to take a look at the situations and circumstances, etc., and I'm going to put a spin of reality on it, because reality becomes my truth. And I wonder what would happen if I, sat down and really did a up close and personal with every moment. I wonder what the outcome would be, because now I'm dealing in reality. I mean, what I just said sounds simple, and what I just said seems like that's what people would want to do. No. They would prefer to beef it up, call hate love. When a person is jealous and they do something wrong towards us, they'll get over it. Are we being true to ourselves? Or are we masking? And we do a lot of masking. The authentic self is down there somewhere, screaming to get its chance to live. It's frustrated. It's tired of people telling how to think, how to feel, what to say, what to do. And, it's tired of going against its own will. Well, it's time to do something about it. It's time to get up. Wake up. I didn't say it was going to be easy. No, did not say that at all. But we can practice and practice and practice. And we will get better and better at taking control of self. And as we're working, and as we're seeking wise counsel, and as we're getting wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and I'm a believer in God. I've said this before, so I seek God. So I would advise individuals that are listening, if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, seek Him. He will help you. The Bible talks about Him being our present help in the time of trouble. The Bible also talks about God being our strength. So He'll help us develop and be who we are to be in order to walk in our purpose. Your authentic self has to be the one to walk in its purpose. It can't be anybody else on stage but who God created you to be, and how He wants us or you to arrive at your destiny. And I have seen individuals that, they say, well, I have a mentor, I have a protege. And I'll look at that individual, and then I'll look at the other individual. And it's like, okay, I'm having a hard time here, because you're sounding like and you're acting like. Well, is that individual's reality? Is that who that person is? Or could it be someone else down on the inside? I mean, this subject can go on and on, because there's times when we don't know how to act or how to be. We haven't tapped into self. We have not really tapped into our own beautiful world waiting on the inside to peak. All because we're busy dealing with the control factors that causes us to move and talk and walk in a way that takes away from our own belief system. I just don't believe that God created us to walk the same, to talk the same. I just don't believe it. I believe He put something down in all of us that is very authentic. And there's times we have to shut out the world to take the time to find it, nurture it, groom it, in order to beat it. And we cannot allow the control factors, money, greed, power, compromise. We can't allow it to take us outside of who we are. We cannot. You'll forever be frustrated. Because it's like being a puppet on a string. You wake up one day feeling this way, and by the end of the day, someone has gotten into your mind. And the words caused you to change your mind. Life should not be that way. We need to take back our power to think, feel, believe, live, do, say. And I'm saying all of this, but we need to do all of it also in moderation. I'm not saying go out there and do stupid stuff and get involved, and next thing you know, the law is knocking on your door. No, that's not what I'm saying, because we have to be wise, because we are in a world filled with anger and bitterness and frustration. And there are some powers that be in many of the systems that are right here in this earth. This is Dr. Angela Wright Lacey. If you do not know how to take control of self, I would advise you to seek wise counsel, to get your voice back. And I'm not talking about we have to always be heard. That's not what I'm saying. But get your own voice back. Get your own beliefs back. Get your own morals back. Get your authentic self back on track. Get wisdom. Get knowledge. Get understanding.